What's up, Junkie Nation? We're at the UFC Fan Expo, and we're joined by featherweight Youssef Zalal. He's got a big fight coming up, in August, right, Youssef?
Yeah. So I was supposed to fight July 20th, and then they hit me up. They're like, hey, the guy's not ready. We'll move it to August 10th. I was like, all right, no problem. We'll do that. So that's why this opportunity come in. I was going to cancel this one when it happened, but I was like, oh, I got to fight July 20th, so I can't do this because I come back. I got 6 weeks for August 10th, but if I came back, I only had like 4 weeks to get ready. I was like, I'm not doing that, but obviously August 10th, I got plenty of time, so I came in to enjoy the experience a little bit and feel the experience and then go from there.
What's the ideal length of a camp for you?
Bro, my whole career, I never had a full camp ever. So my camps are literally 2 weeks, 3 weeks max. So for me, I feel like if you ask any fighter, anywhere from 8 to 10 weeks. So I would say 8 to 10 weeks. At the highest level, I feel like if you starting up, it's about maximum 6 weeks.
You're established now. Why don't you decline fights if you don't like, last minute?
Oh, for sure. That's why this fight I had known for I think it was about 4 months since I known about this fight. So it's like I knew it was like I had got plenty of time to get ready for just one guy. So I don't want to do that short notices anymore until like obviously if the right opportunity come up, I'll be there, no problem. Obviously I fought so many short notices my whole career, especially in the UFC. So I'll take my time obviously and be smart about it, and obviously it's showing in the performance as well.
Here's why I bring it up, and it's just because it recently happened. We had Aliskerov and Tricoli go to Saudi Arabia. They fought last minute, and you could tell as the fights were unfolding, man, they just weren't ready for those other guys that had been, Shara and Whitaker. Those are top dogs. Well, at least Whitaker. And at some point in the second round, both guys were starting to fade. And I just felt terrible when they got knocked out. I get it. Sometimes it's the opportunity. It's worth the risk. But, man, I just wondered what the setback will be because that's, a possible concussion, getting your bell rung. You know what I mean? And I don't know, Aliskerov's kind of like really highly thought of, if you think about it. He's only lost to Shavayev, and the future was bright, but now he took that KO.
I feel like in that opportunity, you have to take it, right? You're fighting potentially the one that's going to fight for the belt next. So it's a win-win for you, right? Obviously, were you ready? I don't know, maybe or maybe not, right? But that's obviously on your camp as well. Your camp has to keep you ready as well. I feel like some of these fighters will come in and just not try to improve and try to grow as a fighter throughout the whole camp or throughout the whole off camp as well. So I feel like some fighters will be like, I'm just going to chill and not do nothing. Like, nah, like where I come from, the training and the gym, it's like you stay ready at all times, just in case. Not just for your body, but more for mentally as well, just in case. Because if you get a short notice, be like, hey, I'm ready, I'm be able to do, because this sport is about opportunities, and opportunities can change your life or can make your life a lot worse than, like you said, the setbacks and all that stuff. So I feel like it just depends at the right time or not. So obviously he took a chance and it didn't pay off, but I feel like he was just not ready. Like you said, he's just not ready in that opportunity yet.
Anyone ever tell you look like Derek Jeter from the Yankees?
No.
You never got that one? Doesn't he?
So that's a good thing, yeah.
Yeah. He's a legend in baseball.
So I don't know nothing about baseball, but I heard the Yankees like the most winnable team, right?
He's a great baseball player. He's a good-looking fella. So if anything, it was a compliment.
Hey, my man, I appreciate it.
All right.
I appreciate it.
But let's get back to that topic. It's interesting for me. I'm learning here from you.
Yeah, for sure. Of
and
course.
The way I look at it is, Whitaker's just a fucking beast, a tough out, one of the greatest middleweights ever. I would already think that if I was in that guy's spot, I want to have a proper camp. I want to be focused. I want to be the best Aliskerov of my life. But I can't be that. I'm only doing this on like a week's notice, 10 weeks notice. I hear that you say it's worth the risk, but isn't it at some point just too risky?
I mean, for Robert Whitaker's side, yes, it's too risky because you're fighting a guy that's not ranked, right? And then you're like risking it all. But Robert Whitaker was training for Chimaev, so he had a hard camp.
Right.
So it's not like he had an easy camp. He was more prepared than, as you can tell, because Chimaev is not an easy fight. Everybody knows that. So he's well prepared for anything in the fight. So that's why for him it was an easy decision, because he's like, oh, I'm here. I trained for the best, but obviously I'm gonna show that I am the best. But obviously there's a lot of risk on his side, but his side paid off, right? He showed his levels to this, and then
I meant from Aliskerov's side though.
That's what I'm the part that's
I don't
like
want
the
to be a
worst
Monday
part.
morning quarterback, but I feel like it was a bad decision. I don't know if fighters should do that.
I would agree with that. Yes,
Okay.
I would agree that was a bad decision. But you gotta look at it in the fighter's mentality as well. You know, you're getting the biggest paycheck of your life or your career right now as we speak, and it gets only better from there because you fought the highest competition. And then you're looking at it like, well, I got a chance in front of Saudi Arabia, which is an Arab Muslim country. So it's like he's from Russia, so he kind of get the opportunity to really get his media up and everything up. So it's a win-win in his side if I look at it in the fighter's side, but obviously like in the outside media side and everything else, I'm looking at it, it's like it's probably not the right idea because obviously he's just shown that he's not ready for that level at least right now with not a full camp.
Yeah.
What do you think of your division right now? Like the UFC, all the different divisions, they all have their own personality. Yours is a lot of fun. What do you think of your division? How do you think it stacks up with all the other ones?
How do I think about the division going or?
Now, how does it stack up against all the other divisions?
Bro, featherweight division is like, I don't want to say the most competitive division. I think is 35 and 55. I really do believe that. I feel like there's all that stuff, but 45 now is getting to a certain point that like, okay, you have the top 3 guys, top 4 guys that are always gonna keep fighting each other. And then you got the new upcomers like Diego Lopez and like guys like that. So coming in and change up, right? But I feel like he's going to bring more excitement, especially with Ilia, different styles. I think he brings different style than everybody in that division. Then he brings a little bit more eyes into that division, a little bit more excitement to that division. And like you said, more fans see that division. So it's definitely one of the toughest divisions in the UFC. I think it's top 3 toughest division in the UFC.
No, right
I don't know
now,
what you guys think. Do you guys agree with that? I don't know. What do you guys think? What's top?
It's a
used
great
to-
division.
it's a great division. It used to be one of my favorites. Right, bantamweight's hard to stop. They're all. But over to our left is the EA Sports video game, where they scan people and all that. And right now, I think we're your first interview today here. But what I've noticed from you is just how happy you are, your mental state. If they were to put the statistics for Youssef Zalal, it'd be 100, right? Mental. What do you think has changed in your life? What's clicked for you that made you so happy and be able to perform in the cage?
A lot of things, man, but mostly is the experience and do what I love. You know, I feel like sometimes we go in life and really like don't appreciate the things that we do, right? And I'm very bad at that sometimes. I feel like I'm not patient. I want everything. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. That's why in my early UFC career, I was fighting all the time, nonstop, you know? So it was like, for me, it was like, there's no patience. There's not really enjoying, like you said, taking risks that you're not even, why do you need to take that risk, you know, sometimes, but obviously just who I am. But obviously, like I said, it's really focused on enjoying life and really being in the moment and then experiencing that, like that journey. And I feel like that's the one thing that clicked for me and changed is I know what I love to do and I know what I want to do. And that's what's the biggest thing that changed me from my past and to now, to be honest. So I feel like that's the biggest change.
If we had this conversation 1 year from now, next year at the Fenders, who do you think will be champion of your division?
Bro, I just got asked this yesterday. I love Max Holloway, and I think they said Max Holloway versus Ilia. I think Ilia is gonna be a problem for. I can see him being still the champ next year, 100%.
Damn. Okay. You know, it's an exciting division because, like you said, Volkanovski, he's got a right for the rematch because he defended 5 times. But then Max does what he did at that BMF fight, and all of a sudden, you know, him versus Topuria is fresh because he has the 3 losses to Volkanovski. Then Ortega goes to Mexico City, and he beats Yair Rodriguez. That was tremendous, too. And now he's taking this fight late notice, even though they moved it to 55. I don't know if you know that, but they moved it to a lightweight.
I did, yeah.
So I'm just wondering, man, like there's a lot going on in this division, but you think Topuria is the real deal and he'll be here in a year?
I think so, man. I really think so. And like I told you guys before, it's about opportunity. Like you said, Max Holloway was not even a picture of being for the title, but all he did is that one opportunity at UFC 300. Now everybody's talking about him fighting Ilia next. You know, I do believe Volk does need that fight, because he deserves it. I mean, he's 16-0 as a featherweight, and I mean 16-1 now. But like you said, he's one of the greatest featherweights to ever do it, to be honest, him and Max, right? But obviously there's opportunities in this sport, and there's a lot of politics and this and that. Diego goes win right now, you might be seeing him talking about him fighting the end of the year for a belt. So you just don't know what the chances are in that division or just in the UFC in general. So I think if you do the right opportunity and the right planning, your time will come.
What would you do if you're fighting Max Holloway and there's 10 seconds left and he points to the ground, man? Is that like, does that give you chills just thinking about something like that?
No, I'll take him down. No, I am not. I'll bang at the right time, bro. I was like, I understand, like, people want all these exciting fights and all that. No disrespect. Nobody was talking about the whole fight. All they talked about was the last 10 seconds. That's it. They didn't talk about the whole fight at all. So if somebody does this and I know I'm faster than them or something, yeah, I'll bang with you all day. But if why would I give you an opportunity if you try to knock me out? I'm just not fighter. I'm like, but there's some fights and I'm like, I felt this dude's power for 4.5 rounds. I'm like, I'm not worried about your power or something like that, you know. But obviously it's a fighting game, though. But if he does that to me, whoop, take down. I'm going for it. Because I know it's gonna be
Max Holloway fight should end that way nowadays. It seems like.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know if he'll do it, but
I think you should like do a selling like a brand or something like the there, because I feel like everybody that does it in the cage now get everybody all riled up. Like every time they do this, it's everybody gets like, oh, it's about to happen. I mean, they have a video of me. I was like this the whole time. I was like, that was a moment. I tell you, I probably will never forget that moment.
Crazy stuff, man. Hey, thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate it. Enjoy your time here at the Expo, International Fight Week, and good luck for your fight coming up here against Jarmo Evans is his name, right? Or something like that?
Yeah, Jarmo Evans, yeah.
All right, cool. All right, man.
It's gonna be an exciting fight. It's gonna be the Moroccans versus the Netherlands, so we'll see.